Here's the thing you need to know. You can do it, and it's gonna be awesome. In this video, you're going to get the 3-step process that helped me go from afraid of camping alone and afraid of the dark to solo backpacking all around the world and even doing naked and afraid twice. Plus some rapid fire bonus tips at the end. One of these tips is actually filling up my entire backpack. Literally, one tip is in that bag. I'll show you at the end. So gear up, get out, grab a snack, let's go for a hike. To conquer your specific fears for your adventure, you can download the worksheet in the description below. I actually made this just for you. And that dog. Just kidding, he doesn't know how to read. In order for you to be ready for step 1, there's something you need to hear. And it might surprise you to hear this, but I really want to congratulate you actually for even considering this, because it can be really scary. It obviously is like your heart is calling you to do it. Like doing a solo overnight is truly a rite of passage, and we really don't have those anymore in our culture. And they're such an important part of knowing who you are, loving who you are, and being safe in the world around you. So kudos to you. Let's get into it. My first tip for you is to make friends with your fear. This is the first step of what I call my fear to gear process. You have to accept your fear, right? And you don't need to give in to the overthinking, but if you're doing this in the worksheet below, which I made for you, you're gonna see there's a space to just brain dump your fear, whatever you're worried about. Like for me, I was super afraid of the dark. That's kind of practical. I was very afraid of getting murdered in my sleep by a serial killer. The likelihood of that happening is so low, but like you probably have had that thought also. I was afraid of getting lost. I was afraid of getting injured. So whether it's a practical fear or an impractical fear, also just like how pretty is this? Peekaboo! The most important part of step 1 is that you don't judge yourself for whatever you're fearing. Some of these are gonna be very practical fears and some are gonna be ridiculous. We're not here to judge, we're here to work with it and use those fears to an advantage. And that's what this whole process is for. That's step 1, you did it. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, so fun fact, this plant here is really similar to one that I learned about doing Naked and Afraid in South Africa. That was a tea. This is not the same plant. I'm not gonna make assumptions, but it's a beautiful plant. So I hope you like it. All right, now that we've made friends with our fear, we're going to plan for our fear, because letting external circumstances determine your happiness, your sense of peace is gonna destroy you. So we're gonna make a plan for each fear, even the silly ones. Not only are you then gonna have the security of knowing how to avoid or respond to a worst case scenario, but you're gonna start this whole adventure with more confidence. Here's an example for me. I honestly have always been really afraid of the dark. It still creeps me out sometimes. And when I was doing my first solo, I knew that when it's dark at night, all the sounds are louder. Everything is just like a leaf blowing by my tent. For all I know, could be a bear coming to kill me. That's just how I thought, because I'm from Hawaii, we don't have bears. So to plan for that, okay, bring an extra headlamp. And while it may seem like a lot to address them right now, I want to remind you of one of my personal rules, and it's not to leap out of your comfort zone, it's just to make it 10% bigger. So even if this still feels scary, don't worry, we're gonna make it little, we're gonna make it achievable, because you can do it, and it's gonna be awesome. Fun story actually, not because I brought this blanket, but my trail name is Rainbow Warrior. Uh-oh. I'm cool. I did it again. And now we're at the final step. Look how easy this is. It's so amazing. Also, if you did not, oh, hold on. Do you see this poop? Do you see that poop? It has fur in it, so I feel like it's I mean, I don't know, maybe coyote. I know there's bobcats in the area, but I haven't seen cat tracks. And actually, this is a bonus tip, but I'm giving it to you early. Learn about the wilderness. You're gonna feel way safer if you just know what kind of animals are in the area, how to do basic survival. But we'll get to the rapid tips after this step. One of these tips is actually filling up my entire backpack. Literally, one tip is in that bag. I'll show you at the end. Step three is just to get a dog. Step 3 is we're gonna make a packing list. And I don't just mean your wool socks and your food. We are going to pack for your fears. There's a saying, a lot of hikers say that you pack your fears, which is why my backpack looks like this. So the pack list has 3 categories. It's gonna be physical gear, things like the extra headlamp, the extra batteries that make you feel secure. You're also gonna end up with actions you need to take. If you're afraid of getting lost or injured, you know, setting up a check-in every 6 hours. That's an action you can pack and plan for that's gonna make you feel safer and open up your energy to enjoy the beauty of nature. And last but not least, you're also gonna be packing your attitude. Attitude is everything out here, and if you're worried about being murdered or getting injured, you're gonna be in a stressed state and more likely to trip and fall or forget something you really need. And to help yourself keep a positive, confident attitude, that's why I made this worksheet. So you can actually bring this with you, and when those fears do come up, you can say, wait, I was afraid of this happening and I have a plan, and then you're gonna conquer that fear. You're gonna prove to yourself you can do it. It's gonna allow you to do something very few people in their lives get the joy of knowing, and that is being in the beauty of nature with yourself, comfortably, being able to be bored, being able to be a kid, being able to just be a human being on planet Earth. And when you get back from your trip, when you walk back to that car and you're stinky and your hair smells like fire and you sit down with that smile across your face, you're gonna have this fear to gear checklist to reflect on, and you're gonna watch that list change over each adventure, and you're gonna watch the journey of your own growth and joy. You're gonna love it, and I am so rooting for you. The sun is setting. It is time to reveal some secrets to you and tell you what's in the bag. First of all, I'm not in the back country. You can probably see there's a house back there. I'm in the riverbed in Santa Fe, where I just moved to start grad school. I didn't have time to go into the back country to film this, and the thing in my bag. So there is actually a tip in here, but it's a little silly, and this is ridiculous. All right, are you ready for the magical piece of gear? Let's just campsite and chill. I also brought a snack. This is an apple I picked from my grad school campus. Protein balls that I just made today. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun. If you're still watching, I feel like we're totally buddies. Here we go. These are your rapid fire tips. All this stuff that I've been really silly about just now is actually a tip. Tip number 1 is to just be a kid and have some fun. The whole reason you want to go out and do a solo hike is because your heart is asking you to. So let your heart play. Don't get lost in your head. Let the list be all the thinking you need to do, and so you can enjoy yourself. And tip 2, I really suggest hiking poles. They are an extra hand when you're hiking, so you're less likely to get injured.
And you can stab all those intruders you're so worried about.
These are my Leckies, they're in the description below. Tip 3 is get a dog. Just kidding. Next tip, bring comfort items. This is obviously a joke and something I just did because I've been in grad school orientation all day and it is comforting. But allow yourself a book. If you're oh, I don't know how to be alone, maybe I'll just be on my phone. Bring your phone, whatever. Just do whatever it takes to make your comfort zone 10% bigger. It doesn't need to be perfect. All right, last few, rapid fire. Learn some very basic survival. Learn some basic first aid. Bring extra batteries so that you're not worried about your phone dying and not having service when you accidentally fell off a cliff, injured your leg, and an axe murderer is chasing you. And last but not least, don't do dumb shit.